I am Shelley Negrani, a member of this congregation and your worship associate today. Together with all of the people who have contributed to this online service, I welcome you to Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North, which we affectionately call UUMAN. UUMAN offers no creed or dogma, but we do believe in the inherent worth and dignity of all people and the interconnectedness of all creation. We have no claim on the truth. Many of us come to UUMAN because here we have an opportunity to engage in a compassionate and open-minded search for truth and meaning, being mindful of the love we hold for one another and the world in which we live. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, whomever you love, you are welcome here. Today's service is a departure for us. The Reverend Dave Dunn is off, and this service is lay-led. In place of a sermon and story for all ages, you will hear a series of calls to action. You will hear specific activities in which we encourage you to become involved. We have chosen to create this service because this is a critical moment in all our lives in a number of ways. We have an election coming up that could well determine our moral as well as political future. The pandemic has exposed the weaknesses of our healthcare system. We can see ways in which deep inequalities in our society are literally the death of marginalized groups. The same inequalities allow for another kind of death, the murder of African American people, often at the hands of police. Many of us have awakened to the fact that we are participating, often unconsciously, in a system of racial oppression that has defined this country since it became a country. The good news is that this is also a time that is giving us an opportunity to change our path. We can choose to fight for justice for Black people. We can stand on the side of inclusion and justice for all marginalized people. This could be the time when we actually do create change. My hope is that today you will hear an opportunity to create some of that change. We'll hear an opportunity that speaks to you. At the end of the service, you will be provided the email address for our chairperson of social justice, Carla Kapeskis. She will be happy to provide you with details about all the activities we described today. If you are visiting with us for the first time, welcome. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday morning with us. We invite you to fill out our online visitor form that you can access from the homepage of our website, UUMAN.org. Someone from our membership team will contact you and answer any questions that you might have. You are invited to join us for a virtual coffee and conversation after the service. The link for the gathering can be found on the homepage of our website, UUMAN.org. Welcome.
Hi, it's Amanda and Reese here. This is a quote from Dr. King Jr. Courage is an inner resolution to go forward despite obstacles. Cowardice is submissive surrender to circumstances. Courage breeds creativity. Cowardice represses fear and is mastered by it. Cowardice asks the question, is it safe? Expediency asks the question, is it politic? Vanity asks the question, is it popular? But conscience asks the question, is it right? And there comes a time when we must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but one must take it because it is right.
We light this chalice to celebrate the inherent worth and dignity of every person,
to reaffirm the historic pledge of liberal religion to seek that justice which transcends mere legality and moves toward the resolution of true equality.
And to share that love which is ultimately beyond even our churched reason, that love which unites us.
Hi everybody, Carla Capescas here. I'm here today to remind you about the not racist from not racist to anti-racist workshop that we will be kicking off on September 20th. We have invited Dr. Therese Johnson to be our facilitator, and she will speak to you in a minute about what we plan to achieve and what we also going to cover during those 6 weeks. We already have 16 people registered, which is I'm very excited for. So if you haven't registered yet and you want to, just look up for the Sign Up Genius link that I've sent out on announcements, and you can still register. Every week we will be sending out ahead of time materials that are going to be thought-provoking and help us in our discussions. And it's going to be from 3 to 4 p.m. Like I said, starting September 20th for 6 consecutive weeks. And I'm very excited about this initiative. I think it's a perfect moment for us to recheck ourselves and discuss and help each other in this journey, becoming an active anti-racist. So I really hope to see you there. And now, Dr. Therese Johnson. Thank you.
Shalom, y'all. My name is Dr. Therese Johnson, and I'm so excited to lead a 6-series session with you all on diversity, equity, and inclusion. I look forward to working with you, to learning from you, and to educating you as best as I can to learn more about how we can be united in fighting for equity, justice, and liberation. The topics we will discuss includes white fragility. It includes the history of slavery and systemic racism. It includes microaggressions, implicit biases, and it also talks about how we can be anti-racist. Our goal is to ensure that participants gain the skills and the knowledge they need to be active anti-racists. Thank you for participating in our sessions.
I'd rather be a sparrow than a snail. Yes, I would if I only could. I surely would. I'd rather be a hammer than a nail. Yes, I would if I only could. I surely would. Away, I'd rather sail away like a swan that's here and gone. A man gets tied up to the ground. He gives the word. It's saddest sound. It's saddest sound. I'd rather be a forest than the street. Yes, I would if I only could. I surely would. Away, I'd rather sail away like a swan that's here and beneath my feet. Yes, I would if I only could. I surely would. Away, I'd rather sail away like a swan that's here and gone. A man gets tied up to the ground. He gives the word. It's sad as the sun. It's sad as sun.
UUMAN strives for justice locally with our North Fulton community and nationally with our Unitarian Universalist community.
Even before COVID-19 and even before the uprisings, we knew that in 2020, everything would be on the line.
There are years that pass by unnoticed, and there are those that define us.
This is a defining time.
UU the Vote is about mobilizing our communities to vote love and defeat hate in the 2020 elections.
But it's also about building safety and freedom for all of our communities, even in the midst of crisis and change.
UU the Vote is about fighting for the future of democracy, the future of our planet, and the future of our faith.
And because of Unitarian Universalists who have given generously to UU the Vote, we've been able to direct grants to our state action networks in Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Arizona. We're working with frontline communities and faith coalitions to talk about our values, fight voter suppression, and make sure voters turn out in November.
When Ohio's elections went entirely to vote by mail, UU Justice Ohio was pivotal in making sure that voters had the information they needed to access their ballots.
The next 4 months are a time to come together and build a world that is more free and more just. And UU the Vote is offering concrete and meaningful ways to engage from now until Election Day.
In partnership with Reclaim Our Vote, during this General Assembly alone, we are challenging you to make at least 100,000 phone calls to connect voters to the information they need to overcome the barriers the state of Texas is placing in their way. We urge you to take your shift making calls and help us reach that goal with our partners at Showing Up for Racial Justice, or SURJ. White Unitarian Universalists will be trained to survey, engage, and persuade other white voters to prioritize decriminalization and supporting the movement for Black lives.
In July, we'll be rolling out our new organizing program to equip you with the skills to build a team, to connect with voters, and to vote love and defeat hate in November.
Our phone banking software costs 4 cents a call. It doesn't sound like much, but with $120,000, Unitarian Universalists could make 3 million calls to voters before Election Day. And we can build lasting organizing infrastructure in our congregations, in our states, and in our association.
UU the Vote is putting schools and communities first.
UU the Vote means investing in our people and our communities.
UU the Vote means working with our partners.
UU the Vote means fighting white supremacy.
It is a way that we can start to dismantle and reshape those systems and structures built to oppress.
Electing a new county attorney can mean ending cash bail, decarcerating up to 50%, and canceling contracts with private prisons.
UU the Vote is amazing organizing.
It's sending over 10,000 postcards.
UU the Vote means taking action together to bring UU values to life.
UU the Vote is a call to prayer.
It's doing the work, each and every time.
I believe in the power of UUs.
Here's what I know. In this moment of such brokenness, there's also so much possibility.
In this defining time, the world needs our faith to be bold, and visible and clear.
Help us live into that promise by donating to You the Vote today. Thank you for your love, your work,
and thank you for your generosity.
Let's You the Vote.
Let's You the Vote.
Black lives matter. Today and every day, they matter. It is painful to look at the list of 27 names and photos of Black people killed by police in 2020 alone. We say some of their names: George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tony McDade, Deion Johnson, Damian Daniels, Priscilla Taylor. We need to say their names, and we need to do more. In this time of COVID, it is hard to know what to do. What do we do about 27 Black lives taken by police this year alone? What we have been asked by countless Black leaders is simply to get out the vote. Unitarian Universalists participate in UU the Vote. We've made over 150,000 calls to voters through our UU the Vote national actions. Our next national phone bank with UUs in Florida and our partners at South Florida Majority is on Tuesday, September 29th from 6 to 8 p.m. Black leaders have also asked us to educate ourselves. It is shocking to realize how little we were taught in school about our own history. Our education is filled with countless omissions, but there are also outright lies. If we do not know our history, we are doomed to keep repeating it. That's why everyone is invited to participate in the anti-racism workshop about which Dr. Anderson spoke. In addition to that workshop, UUMAN is offering a pop-up book club. We will read the book White Rage by Carol Anderson and discuss it via Zoom on Saturday, October 10th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Also, for years, UUMAN has had an active Earth Ministries group. We work on environmental issues, thinking globally and acting locally. We have talked about how to incorporate our commitment to the environment with our commitment to racial justice. We have decided to join with Keep Roswell Beautiful in its efforts to clean up Waller Park and Hogwaller Creek. This is beautiful, almost forgotten parkland in Roswell. We are joining this particular effort because Hogwaller Creek runs through the property around Zion Missionary Baptist Church, an historically Black church. We see this effort as a way to foster connections in our community and to contribute to the improvement of Black-owned property. We will be participating in the cleanup on Saturday, September 19th from 8:30 to 11:30 in the morning. Because of COVID, everyone taking part in this cleanup needs to register in advance. If you are unable to make it, there will be many more opportunities to reclaim Hogwaller Creek. These are just some of the ways we can stand up and say, Black Lives Matter, today and every day. If you have other ideas, they are most welcome. At the end of this service, there will be a slide of the email address of our Social Justice Committee Chair. She will happily give you information about what we are doing, and she will also entertain your suggestions about what more we can do. Thank you. Now is the time in the service when the ties that bind this community together are spoken aloud. Marilee Huffnagel is having back surgery tomorrow, September 14th. We are really hoping for a speedy recovery. Please keep her in your thoughts. Melinda Mischik is joyful and grateful for all the teachers and children at UUMAN as the Ministry for Children and Youth gets underway for the year. The Rohan Shanahan family has a sorrow that Elizabeth's stepfather, Ray Galea, passed away this week. It is very difficult being unable to be with her mother, who lives in New Jersey. Please keep Elizabeth and her family in your thoughts. And I have a joy that my grandson Max turned 17 on September 11th. I drop this final pebble for those joys and sorrows that remain unspoken. Let us hold one another in our hearts until we meet again.
Nurture our spirit.
Strive for justice.
Transform the world.
This is our mission. We fulfill this mission with our commitment of time, energy, and resources.
Individually and together, we are Unitarian Universalists, building a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy.
The offering will now be taken using the Givelify app.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Our benediction this morning comes from the words of Dr. Martin Luther King. With patient and firm determination, we will press on until every valley of despair is exalted to new peaks of hope, until every mountain of pride and irrationality is made low by the leveling process of humility and compassion, until the rough places of injustice are transformed into a smooth plain of equality of opportunity, and until the crooked places of prejudice are transformed by the straightening process of bright-eyed wisdom. Go in peace.